Internal BGP or iBGP. This is the third scenario of the iBGP, and in this scenario I want to show you another usage of the internal BGP. This is an interesting scenario because we can experience another usage of iBGP or internal BGP. In this scenario we have a customer, and the customer is in AS 65000. And also this customer has two connections to two ISPs. First, ISP 65001 and again ISP 65002. Each of these ISPs has another customer, and you can see that ISP 65001 has a customer in AS 65003 and ISP 65002 has a customer in AS 65004. Okay, we can name these ISPs ISP A here. This is the ISP A or ISP 1, for example, and the lower ISP is ISP 2. And each of these ISPs has another customer, and we can see the topology here. This is ISP 1, ISP 2. Very good. In this scenario, we will experience interesting topics about the iBGP. Because I want to configure this scenario faster, I use Notepad to configuration of the router, to configure the routers. Look at here. First, we should configure all of the scenario because this scenario needs many details. Because, for example, enabling IGP, enabling eBGP, enabling iBGP, using next hop self, and many other topics. Because of that, I want to configure this scenario with a Notepad file. In this scenario, we have 7 routers, and because of that, I use R1 as the first router, and then again R2, second router, and then R3, R4, R5, R6, and R7. I want to write configuration of these routers here, and after that we can copy that configuration inside the CLI R3, R4, R5, R6, R7. Okay, look at here. R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, R6, and R7. You know all of the details about the iBGP, but in this scenario, we want to experience some of that concepts on another form. Okay, let's start with R1. First, configuring the IP addresses. En conf t. In R1, we have only 2 interfaces, interface ETH0 and then interface ETH01. Okay, interface. First, we can configure the host name R1, and then interface ETH00, IP address. Okay, the IP address of ETH00 is 10.131.255.255.255.0, and then no shutdown. Very good. And again, interface ETH01. Look at here, interface ETH01. The configuration is IP address 10.141 and no shutdown. This is the configuration of R1 for IP addressing of interfaces, and right. Again, I want to copy this configuration into the R2 and do some change into R2. Now some change. Host name now is R2. IP address of ETH00 is 10.232.10.2.3.2, and ETH01 is 10.252.10.2.5.2. Okay, so easy. Let's go to the R3. In R3, we have 4 interfaces. Because of that, I copy these 2 interfaces again, and now we have 4 interfaces. ETH00, ETH01, okay, ETH02 and 03, all of the interfaces. ETH00, this interface is 10.133, 10.133. ETH01 is 10.2.3. 10.2.3.3. And interface ETH02 is 192.168, okay? And then 1.3. This is the IP address of ETH02. And finally, ETH03, 192.168.2.3. This is the configuration of R1. Also, we should configure hostname as R3. R3, the configuration of R3. Let's go to R4. R4 also has 3 interfaces. Look at here. In R4, we have 3 interfaces. Again, I want to configure. Copy from R3, paste in R4. We need only 3 interfaces, ETH00, 01, and 02. 00, this interface is 10.1.4.4. 01 is 10.4.5, 10.4.5.4, okay? And also 02 is 10.4.6.4, 10.4.6.4. This is the IP addressing of the R4. And after that, hostname R4. Let's to copy it and paste for R5. Copy. And now in R5, I paste it. R5, hostname is R5. Interface ETH00 is 10.2.5.5. The IP address of ETH00. ETH01 is 10.4.5.5, 10.4.5.5. ETH02 here is 10.5.7.5. Look at here, 10.5.7.5. This is the ETH02. And again, R6. In R6, copy. I use this command. Hostname R6 here. And then IP address of ETH00, 10.4.6.6. And also we have one loopback interface, interface loopback 0. IP address is quad 6, quad 6/32, quad 6, quad 255. 2 interface only, okay? Then removing the interface ETH02. After that, finally in R7, I copy the configuration, hostname R7, interface ETH00 is 10.5.7. 10.5.7.7, and again interface loopback 0 quad 5. This is the first step in our configuration, and then we should copy all of this configuration in all of the routers. Let's to do it first in R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, R6, R7. Let's start from the R1 here. Copy, and then in R1, paste. Everything is okay. Again, R2, copy, and then paste. Okay. Again, R3, copy, and then paste. Again, R4, copy of configuration. You can see it's so easy. This method is so easy. You can use it. R4 and then R5, copy here and paste. And finally, R6 and R7. R6, okay, notice maybe you experience some errors, but we don't have errors now. R7 and finally R6 and finally R7. This is the configuration of R7. Very good. This is the first part of our configuration. The second part is configuring IGP, for example, OSPF, or for example, eIGRP. Why? We need IGPs inside of AS to have connectivity between routers. Why? Because, for example, you want to configuring iBGP between R1 and R3. Because we want to configuring iBGP between R1 and R3, we should have connectivity between these routers. This is achieved with connected interface. But for connectivity between, for example, R1 and R3, we need OSPF, we need the eIGRP. In all of the service providers, in all of the enterprises, we should configure IGP. It's so important. Maybe in this scenario, it's good or it's better that use OSPF.